Rick Ross just got hit with the most brutal public humiliation of his career after 50 Cent stepped up and crushed him with just one icy statement. "You're broke." The whole thing started when Rick Ross boldly claimed he'd produce a massive BMF film, with or without Big Meech's life rights, and that it would blow 50 Cent's entire BMF series out the water. But in classic 50 fashion, he didn't just clap back with words. He filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit and lit up the internet by declaring that Rozay doesn't even have the funds to attempt something that big. What happened next? A chain of events that completely flipped the script on Rick Ross, shaking up the streets, the culture, and the whole entertainment industry. Let's dive into this explosive situation that proves why 50 Cent is still one of the most dangerous men in hip-hop when it comes to power plays, money moves, and calling out fake bosses. So here's what went down. Rick Ross, out of the blue, jumped on social media and interviews hyping up this next big thing, a BMF film that, according to him, would finally tell the truth about the Black Mafia family and give fans a real story, not the dramatized, fictionalized version that's been on Stars under 50 Cent's leadership. And then he dropped the bomb. He didn't need Big Meech's permission to do it. That's right. He basically said he'd tell the story without securing life rights from Demetrius Big Meech Flannery himself. Now, if you know anything about Hollywood, entertainment law, and street politics, you know this ain't just risky, it's wild. But Ross didn't stop there. He went further, claiming his film would have a bigger budget than the BMF series 50 Cent's been producing. He said he had major backing, serious production partners, and the vision to take it global. According to Ross, this film would eclipse anything 50 Cent had done and put the real ones back in the driver's seat. He even threw a little shade, implying that 50 was Hollywood now and no longer tapped into the streets. And that's when things got nuclear. Because while most people expected 50 to go off on IG Live, drop a meme, or troll Ross into the dirt like usual, this time he didn't say much, just two devastating words that hit like a financial haymaker. "You're broke." But this wasn't just shade. This was back with action. Within days, 50 Cent had his legal team file a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Rick Ross and his unnamed production partners, accusing them of attempted IP infringement, unlawful use of names and likenesses, and attempting to profit off a story already under protected licensing agreements. He didn't just call Ross broke. He made it official by dragging him into court, challenging his financial ability to even begin a film of this magnitude, and daring him to show the receipts. And here's the twist. Rick Ross has been quiet ever since. Now, let's not pretend Ross hasn't made money. He's got franchises, music royalties, and a well-documented hustle. But try and produce a high-budget film about a legendary crime empire without securing the rights or locking in proper deals. That's not just risky. It's a setup for disaster. And 50 Cent, being the chess player he is, saw the hole in Ross's game and exposed it for the whole world to see. See, this isn't the first time Rozay and Fifth have clashed. Their beef goes back over a decade. Diss tracks, petty jabs, lawsuits, and business shade. But this was the most surgical takedown yet. Because it wasn't about bars. It wasn't about street clout. It wasn't about memes. It was about power, business, ownership, control. And when it comes to those three things, 50 is built like a machine. Behind the scenes, it's even messier. Word is Big Meech himself, yes, the Big Meech, was blindsided by Ross's announcement. While Ross implied he was honoring Meech's legacy, insiders say no call was made, no papers were signed, and no official permission was granted. In fact, there's heavy speculation that Meech's team reached out to 50 immediately, reaffirming that he still had the only authorized BMF deal. If that's true, Ross might have just walked into a legal firestore with no protection. Let's talk numbers. 50 Cent's BMF series isn't just a regular TV show. It's a certified hit. It has a multi-season deal with Stars, international distribution, and a massive fan base. The budget per season is estimated to be in the tens of millions. So when Ross claimed he could outdo that, he was claiming he could launch a film with at least $50 to $100 million in real production value. But where's that money coming from? When asked for specifics, Ross gave none. No studio named, no producer confirmed, no distributor mentioned, just vibes and bravado. And that's where 50 came in like a wrecking ball. He demanded Ross show proof of funds. He mocked his car collection, his house payments, and his business ventures. He even dropped cryptic posts hinting that Rozay's empire was all credit, no cash. Then he hit with a lawsuit, knowing damn well that if Ross couldn't legally or financially defend his claim, the entire project would collapse before it even started. And it did. Within a week, the BMF movie hype vanished from Ross's social media. Interviews dried up. The partners he claimed to have? Silent. The trailer or teasers? Nowhere to be found. And as of today, not a single production step has been confirmed. 50 Cent didn't just beat Ross in public. He shut him down in the boardroom and made an example out of him for the entire culture. But let's keep it real. Why would Ross even make that move? Some folks say it was pure ego, that after years of being on the losing end of the 50 Cent feud, Ross finally saw an opening and thought he could capitalize. Others say he got bad advice, that someone